It is a new day, a new month, a new year with new opportunities, with new skills to learn for new growth, alright? It's 2021, let's get it. Let us maximize the internet and leverage our minds. 2020 was a great year for me, and today I'm gonna share with you one of the biggest lessons that I learned about money in 2020 that I am going to carry with me all throughout 2021.
Look in the mirror, my reflection, a bag of money. Okay. I look in the mirror, my reflection, a bag of money. What? I look in the...
What's up, Guap Benders? If you're watching this video and you're anything like me, then you learned about debt and credit the hard way. Now, I'm not a credit expert, so that's not what this video is for, but this has to do with what I learned in 2020 that has changed the course of my life. I pretty much fucked up my credit in college just with getting credit cards and not knowing how credit really worked, because I didn't have that education. I didn't have that financial literacy for somebody to sit me down and walk me through, this is why credit is important and this is how you leverage it. And I kind of felt the sting of those decisions in 2020 because I didn't have access to the same opportunities that some of my peers had access to who had good credit, because you can't leverage bad credit. So like I said, I'm not a credit expert, so I'm not even gonna get into all of that on how you can leverage credit, but in a later episode, in a later show, whether it's here or on my Patreon, I probably will get a credit expert or a few to come in and speak onto that so I can learn and then you guys can learn with me. But I did experience a psychological and energetic principle in 2020 when it does come to debt. And I feel like nobody really talks about this side of it, so I'm here to be that voice. So basically what happened was, one day I was sitting in the car, waiting in the parking lot, and I got a call, one of the million calls I would always get from debt collectors. And I decided to pick it up. Now, this is out of character for me completely, because usually I just deny the call because it's the same people calling back every day like clockwork. And I'm just like, I usually just decline the call out of shame and annoyance. So this one day I just decided, you know what? Let me pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? Let me just pick up the phone. Let me talk to them. I had just listened to a podcast on Earn Your Leisure about how you can work with debt collectors on how you pay the debt, and it's not as complicated as you think. So I was like, fuck it, let me try it out. So I spoke to them, and it was actually a very pleasant conversation because I was cooperative and I wasn't afraid to give my pitch. So I just gave a really low ball, something I know for a fact that even in the worst of times I could afford to pay this monthly payment. And I worked out a payment plan with them. And I was like, wow, that was surprisingly easy. And I felt a little bit better afterwards because I didn't have like the criminal guilt of dodging debt collectors. So that was just wild to me because that was completely out of character in the best of ways. And it really set me on a path to start paying back these debts that have been accumulating for the past couple years that I just haven't been able to really get around to, or I really didn't put the time and effort to get around to. So here's where I noticed a shift. As soon as I started paying off my debts, within days, that cash flow that I was working so hard to get all year for, that I was like really pressing for, working day in, day out, not seeing any result, that cash flow started flowing immediately. Like that cash was just flowing. Like clients were signing on, like random money was just coming in. It was just like, damn. But the only thing different I had done really was start to pay off my debts. And I believe that that is a direct link. I think my mindset went through a shift in that moment. And I also think that there are universal principles at play. Like, I think it comes down to this one question. How do you expect the world to pay you your dues if you have not even paid your own dues yet? In my scenario, I'm working so hard to, get this cash flow that I want so badly, But how can I expect that to happen if on the back end, I'm not paying my dues? I have a debt to pay that I'm ignoring, right? Somebody's not getting their money because of me. So there's an imbalance there, and it needs to be balanced. It needs to be balanced. Like, you think about cash flow, it can't flow properly if it's not balanced. So you're gonna get some choppy ass shit, some imbalanced shit. So I realized it's really just a game of give and take, and I was doing a whole lot of taking and not enough giving. Because if all you're doing is taking, then the world has no incentive to give to you. So it's really a balance of gratitude and generosity instead of entitlement and content. But that's a whole nother video that I want to get into with you guys. That's a whole topic on its own. But I'm definitely continuing this behavior into 2021 and even increasing my commitment to paying off my debts, because I see the direct or indirect benefit of doing so. And if you are a person that has debts that you're not really paying attention to, then I highly suggest you consider picking up that next phone call from the debt collector, or if they're not calling you, you go ahead and call them and have that tough conversation and figure out something that works for you. Honestly, at the end of the day, they just want their money back, and they might propose to you something that's more ideal for them, but oftentimes they'll go with whatever you can afford to do in the moment. So take control of your finances, take control of your cash flow. I highly suggest you to do that. A shift really does happen. I experienced it myself. It turns out to be not that bad, and karma is in your favor when you do things like that. So just to close it out, what lessons did you learn in 2020? Leave it in the comment section below. If you're watching this video in late 2021 or in 2022 or some further off year, then just let me know what lessons have you learned in the year before this one that you're carrying into this current year and how you're navigating that. I'd love to learn from you guys. I'd love for you guys to share with me as I share with you, because honestly, this is a community and I'm not communicating out of responsibility here. I'm communicating out of love, and I would love that reciprocity so that I can learn too, because I guarantee that some of you out there watching this have something to offer me that I can't offer you, and I have something to offer you that you can't offer me, and that exchange is a beautiful relationship. So what lessons have you learned in this past year? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to me so you can see this beautiful face all the time. Peace out, guap benders. I'll see you on the next episode.
Reality ain't what we see, reality is what we think.